Look, it's been a day or two. Sorry. I came back onto YouTube today and I saw this on Tysky Sour and Novara Media, and whilst this isn't the whole problem, this particular story, whilst it's not the whole problem, it's kind of emblematic of the general cost of living crisis we're going through right now, if that makes sense. We're not gonna end up being in any better shape come the next election with everything like this going on. Now, like I said, this is just one facet of the whole fucking, the cost of living crisis on top of pandemic, on top of Tory austerity. Alright? So, this particular story kind of rings true somewhat for me. I mean, when I was in secondary school, it was on the other side of the decade, on the other side of the last decade. But we had, little cards you go into school with to buy food with. And there were days where, like, you go to buy something and there's no money on that card. And the dinner lady or dinner man, whatever, has to turn around and say, yeah, there's no money on there. This woman is on the other side of that counter from me. Not personally. Like, I've never met this woman, but given that what I've just said, this is from the other side of the perspective.
Dinner lady in Lancashire, and just before the summer holidays, when the cost of living crisis really started kicking off, I've just noticed I spend as much time taking food away from children as I do serving it. And to be honest, it's not what I took the job for. I never dreamt that I'd be having to tell children, you can't have that, you've no money on your account. And it used to be, when I first started a year ago, okay, once a month, there might, a parent.
Just pause there a second. See, for me, like, I had to cut down to, like, I couldn't. It was very rare that I was able to put anything on, enough on my little card to buy something real, really substantial when I was at school. And so, I'd have a panini most days, and you think, yes, but like, I looked around me and saw that most other kids were eating more than I did. Yeah.
Forget to put money on at the beginning of the month, and you get that. But now you're talking 10 to 15 children a shift.
And this is 15 years later. It's mind-boggling. 15 years later, yeah. It's just mind-boggling.
Every day, every single day, and I'm saying, you can't have that, there's no money, and it's breaking my heart. You see them, they're in a queue full of all their peers and other school children, and it's humiliating for them.
Really
It's
is.
so humiliating. They just look at you like, well, what am I going to eat? And it's like, I can't give you anything.
I was actually told
Sorry,
that myself.
And I'm just dreading going.
I actually remember being told those exact words. I'm really sorry, but there's nothing I can do. Unless you can get some change from somewhere, there's nothing I can do. And half the time, that's what I had to do, is get change from somewhere.
Back to work. I'm dreading October, and to be honest, it's getting to the point where I'm just like, I don't even think I can do.
I wonder if it's different now, where you can't even use change. It has to be on your fucking card. I hope not. Gods, I hope not.
Do this job anymore. I didn't take the job on to starve children. I'm sorry. It's just, it's just something has has to give, and I just don't think it should be children's spirits. You know, I'm sorry, I just.
I, you know, again, I was on the other side. I was on the other side of what she's describing. She, seeing this, I remember being going, because the schools I went to, there was two queues. You had one for the cold and fast food kind of section, which was a shorter line, and you had the main cafeteria line, which is all your hot foods and all the main, bigger selections and stuff. Automatic already I was, in the shorter in the shorter one, because it was more from what I could afford, and even then I had to pick. It was very rare that I could get exactly what I wanted, or more than just the one thing that I wanted. It's kind of, yeah. And as I said, this is a facet of the problem that we're dealing with. I can't believe the bullshit. I really can't. I can't. It's remarkable that we get that, things haven't completely crashed. I mean, it's going that way, but it's remarkable that they actually haven't. I mean, there's another one. It was, you got fucking idiots in charge, and I call them idiots without no reservations whatsoever. For the simple fact is they're putting it. If this is true, it's likely that Jacob Rees-Mogg is going to be made the next energy secretary, a climate denier, a climate change denier. It wouldn't be as bad. As I said, if when it comes to the Jacob Rees-Mogg situation, it wouldn't be as bad if there were if there was maybe like another one or two other ministers alongside actual experts in the field of their department alongside him in the running of that department. Because that way you'd have a more democratic way of doing things. And it would prove that he has no right to be in that role. Oh, it hurts. It actually hurts. Why? Why? You can't seriously say that Brexit was good for this country and then, do fuck all when the benefits that Brexit was supposed to bring don't come about. You're not fit for government. I mean, I personally don't think Boris and his lot were fit for government in the first place. But I did warn people, I warned everyone that would listen to me not to vote Tory. They ignored me, or they listened to me. But, those that were already going to vote Tory decided to ignore me, and we're in a worse position now. Would we necessarily be in a better position were we under Labour? As 100% absolute certainty? No, but I don't believe in absolutes. But I do think that it is more likely that a Labour government would have led us into a better position now than the fucking Tory one. How can people keep going along with their bullshit? I know it's kind of devolved a little bit, but going back to that what hit me was, you've got, when it came to the original story with the dinner lady, is with the education system, there are people that can't, it's not just teachers that are struggling here. You've got cleaners that are, you know, finding it's barely worth the money. You've got dinner ladies that it's not even the money, it's for them, it's the mental trauma of going through this day to day. And you will still get these fucking assholes saying that no, the Tories are economically literate. No, they're not! Obviously, they're not. If they were, despite the economic problems going on globally, we would not be in as bad a position as we are now. Individually as a nation. Compared to the rest of Europe. Like, yes, there's a global problem going on, but we are being hit worse than most, harder than pretty much everyone else. Blinded by exceptionalism, it's ridiculous. This, as I said, this lady, her story gave me a proper gut punch, because it took me back to vivid memories of when I was at school myself. I remember, and this was this was like 15 years ago. And it's just gotten worse. The Tories have not made things better. Like, at all. If you can show me where things have gotten better, I would love to see it. Because any evidence shown to me now is just propaganda-fueled bullshit. And it can be poked so many holes, legitimate holes in, it's unreal. I do want to go back into the education system, but for me it would be university or college. But this is going on in what seems to me like, from what she said with the system, that's similar to what I had when I was in school, with the card. You put money on the card. But people are still voting for these idiots. They're still believing the bullshit. Do I feel sad for the rest of this country? I don't know. But there has to be a better way of doing this. Because whatever we're doing isn't working. It really isn't. This really opens things up, especially for me. It makes it more personal. The Tories don't know what they're doing. And they don't care. They will care when, they're not in power for another fucking 10 years. Or if the fucking, the political system changes and we get PR, which is unlikely, but, I can't believe this. I can't believe the gut punch of hearing what is almost one of my memories being told out loud from the opposite view. It's fucked up. If this is like this. For, you know, I'm 28, 29 at the end of this Christian year. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to almost get, you know, to still over a decade later, to still be hearing an issue that I had growing up in school. And I'm hearing that this is not just an isolated problem. You know, I knew I wasn't the only one going through that problem. There wasn't so many people as many people in that situation as for what I'm seeing now. It's just something needs to be done. And as a pagan, we really do think we should use our voices to add to the numbers against the Conservatives, because they don't support us at all. And if we get our voices in on the agenda, we could have some direction on how that agenda is run, considering our population. We don't have to act in a completely organised fashion in the same way all the other fucking cultures do, religious cultures do, but we can evolve. Because we need different to this. This is not right. This is fucking scary is what it is. The fact that we're getting to this, it's not getting better. It just isn't. If it is, show me factual evidence, because this evidence is, you know, it backs up what I've seen myself. So if it can counteract that, then well done. And you know, but it has to. It's stupid. If you think this is the way things and if you think this is the way things should be, you're either an idiot, ignorant, or a fucking vile asshole. I could have gone worse, but you're a vile asshole. If you think this is how our country is supposed to be run. That is vile. If you think that the way our country is being run is how it's supposed to be run, the way it's being run right now by this bunch of fucking assholes, then you yourself are a vile asshole. Because they are making things worse for the country, not better. Wake up. I'm going to stop now before I... Ooh. Like I said, this is a personal note. So, yeah, I'm very angry about this. I'm speechless. But yeah, this has been some Dolkviska from Shadow Eater. I hope people have a good evening. I'll be more active over the next week again. Just taking a couple of days off. And yeah, bless others say.